5 paradoxes of intimacy that explain why the deepest relationships are also the most complex. I've examined the dynamics of authentic intimacy for over 20 years and identified 5 fundamental paradoxes that, although rarely discussed, explain why the most significant relationships are intrinsically characterized by seemingly contradictory tensions. Paradox 1. The more intimate the connection, the more necessary the differentiation. The tension between fusion and autonomy. It's not contradiction, it's that documented systemic dynamic in which deep intimacy requires in parallel a strong individuation, creating that polarity in which the ability to maintain clear boundaries becomes a prerequisite for authentic abandonment to vulnerability. Paradox 2. Radical vulnerability requires absolute safety. The tension between risk and protection. It's not ambivalence, it's that neurobiological reality in which deep emotional openness emerges only in contexts of exceptional perceived security, creating that evolutionary cycle in which the ability to feel completely protected becomes a necessary condition for risking total exposure. Paradox 3. Unconditional acceptance catalyzes transformation. The tension between validation and growth. It's not contradiction, it's that relational dynamic in which the most significant personal change paradoxically emerges when we feel completely accepted exactly as we are, creating that condition in which the absence of external pressure activates internal resources of self-evolution. Paradox 4. Relational stability requires constant renegotiation, the tension between continuity and renewal. It's not inconsistency, it's that systemic truth in which relational longevity depends on the ability to repeatedly die and be reborn as a couple, creating that process in which commitment to permanence paradoxically requires the willingness to continuously reinvent the relationship. Paradox 5. Sustainable satisfaction emerges from accepting dissatisfaction, the tension between fulfillment and desire. It's not resignation, it's that existential reality in which the deepest relational peace emerges from integrating the inevitable limitations of any human connection, creating that maturity in which acceptance of the other's intrinsic limits paradoxically generates a more sustainable level of contentment. Save this video. Not as a definitive solution, but as an orientation map that recognizes how these seemingly contradictory tensions aren't signs of dysfunction, but intrinsic characteristics of authentic intimacy that, when navigated with awareness, become sources of relational depth and resilience. Follow me for more relationship advice.